Here we go!
We're feeling very gay because it's almost time to play. Grab your favorite chair, we're the Lucky Pierres. Yeah!
What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Lucky Pierre's movie reviews. Tonight we're reviewing an oldie but a goodie, a classic from 1993, Judgment Night. All right, guys. We just finished the movie. What'd you guys think? Judgment Night.
I love Judgment Night. It's a great movie. It's a classic. Seen it a long time ago, probably when I was like 13 or something. It came out in the early 90s, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Just awesome cast. The plot is a little ridiculous, but I mean, you can't picture like Dennis Leary as a gang leader chasing people around in a turtleneck. I mean,
Yeah.
that's like Hollywood's version of a gang leader.
Yeah, like,
Jeremy
it's-
Piven is a weasel bitch.
It's like a white collar gang or something. You know what I mean? It's
I
like
mean, the other guys are kind of hardcore looking, but
they are.
Dennis
Except for
Leary in a
one of
turtleneck.
them is
but-
Everlast.
Yeah, one of them did. They both of them look like kind of
No,
like pretty boys.
One
you know
of
what I mean?
them, the one of Dennis Leary's like henchmen is Everlast, the dude that has those songs on the radio.
Oh, I don't know. I never seen him. Is it the dude with the long hair? Is it the...
No, the one who Cuba Gooding shoots.
Oh, really? That's Everlast?
Yes.
That dude's an actor.
No, he's only in like 3 things ever.
No, that dude's in like got like
He looks
90
like a-
titles to him, doesn't he?
He looks like a gangster, honestly. So, I think you might be.
No, I'm
mistaken.
not.
Yeah, you might be mistaken, Shaw. I don't know, but
All I know is Peter Green. You know the one guy. He's
Don't-
one of the gangsters.
Yeah,
yeah.
You don't know who Peter
I
Green
do.
is?
Exactly. He's on my notes.
Yeah, Peter Green's the man. Like he's underutilized and stuff. He's in The Mask. He's like the villain of The Mask.
Oh yeah.
Awesome
That
actor.
dude's good,
He's
man.
a great villain.
Yeah. Got a distinct,
What does it say
underappreciated.
right
distinct look.
Everlast. He's in a Santana Live movie.
Oh, you're talking about the guy at the end near the end.
Yeah, that
Oh,
Cuba Gooding
okay.
shoots at the end.
Yeah, yeah.
They stand and shoot each other.
I thought you were talking about the other guy. I got you though. All right, back on track. But yeah.
Also, in my notes, I said I can never buy Peter Green as like a scary tough guy because he makes me crack up just looking at him.
I disagree. I think he's a great villain.
Oh, I mean, he's not a bad villain, but like, I'm never like, man, that guy's hard as nails.
I
But
know.
he always,
Yeah.
they always have him portraying something.
He's hard as nails in The Mask, bro. Have you
He's
seen The Mask?
also he's also
He
a
is.
real life crackhead.
Is he really?
Yes, 100%.
That's nuts. All right, so let's get to the plot. A bunch of friends going to a fight. They take a detour. And they're going in this RV. They take a detour and get lost in the ghetto, basically. And then they come across a wounded man who's running from drug dealers. They try and help him, and the drug dealers find him. They kill the wounded man, and then the main people
I kind of feel like
witness the.
our mom would have wrote this script. Like, if you get off the highway, I'm one of like Detroit suburbs.
Yeah,
This is what's gonna happen.
yeah. It's an
This
extreme
is
version.
what she thinks happens every time you get off the freeway.
Yeah, if you get off the wrong exit, this is what you witness
Every
every
time. Yep.
Even in like the best
Which,
neighborhoods.
like, it's very like a lot of it is very cheesy and dated,
Like what?
but it is good. Well, like you can't watch that and tell me even if the like cinematography was like upped to today's standards,
Yeah.
you wouldn't be able to tell that it was written in the 90s.
Oh yeah,
That's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
probably,
It's very
yeah,
dated.
yeah.
Like it's not bad.
No,
The
But you can
Dialogue.
tell 100% this was written in the early 90s.
Yeah, there's some great one-liners from Leary though. For
yeah,
sure.
he has some
Oh,
good
that's-
lines.
Dennis Leary, great actor most of the time, but I don't buy him as like a crime boss at all. He's like he's the perfect like dick, like what he plays in other movies. Like even the ref, he's like a
The ref
criminal,
is awesome. Yeah, the ref's
but he's
awesome.
not like
He's just
a
sarcastic,
fucking
like, a-hole.
kingpin boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like an a-hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, a kingpin boss is a bit of a stretch,
Yes.
but like he was super charismatic and like good in this.
Yes.
I mean, you can't deny that.
Oh yeah.
I love like one of my favorite scenes is the rooftop scene. I love that
With
scene.
Piven?
When
Trying to cut a deal?
Leary gives that freaking monologue like speech. I love that. That's
Yeah.
so you cannot look away. It's-
Cuba Gooding Jr. seems to be a token black character throughout the movie, and you only ever notice him when he's throwing a temper tantrum. Like
True.
he pops out from behind, like everybody's talking, then he pops out all upset, punching somebody, or like he's slamming the beer on the RV. Like every
He,
time you
he
notice
served a purpose. I think he was like the middleman between Frank and John, the brothers. Like,
yeah,
he-
they needed a black dude, so they were like, let's get him, throw him in the mix.
Yeah.
It'll really up the street cred.
yeah.
Which the soundtrack, I remember as a kid the soundtrack way more than I remember this movie, and the soundtrack was great, but very little of it actually makes it in the movie. Like it was like a huge deal because it was like the beginning of rap, rock, new metal like crossover. Like on the soundtrack is Biohazard and Onyx together, Slayer with Ice-T, then Dinosaur Jr. has a song with Del the Funky Homo Sapien, and then there was a Tool Rage Against the Machine song that was recorded for the soundtrack but didn't get used because both bands hated working with the other.
That makes
Like
sense.
Rage and Tool hated each other.
Yeah, I
so
don't know how
Wow.
they ever
the
worked
song
together in
never
the first
got
place.
released.
Like,
But like you can find it online. You can find like
Yeah.
a version of it. But the soundtrack was great.
It
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
those are-
Also very dated.
Very
Like-
dated. Very, very
the
dated.
cast is awesome. Like every guy in the cast, you can see in other stuff. And
Yeah.
you appreciate him on the other stuff.
Dorf, Cuba, Emilio, Leary.
I
Yeah,
You
love
can use
seeing,
both the
love
names
seeing
and not be a
Steven
prick
Dorff.
about it. though. You don't call him Dorf.
Love seeing Steven Dorff. Love it.
Yeah, he's
Even
great,
if he's
man.
a little bit out of his mind in real life.
He might be. He might be.
But he was in The Gate, which was one of the first horror movies I've ever seen, and I still love it to this day.
Yeah, I have to watch
I
that.
just
I never
brought
seen
the
it. Yeah.
score on vinyl.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I have to watch that one. That's a classic horror movie, I have not seen. You know. But-
The premise of that movie is in batshit crazy. Also, there's like a hole in their backyard that he's like, you know what? It's a portal to hell. So they break a piece of their gate and cover the hole. But all these little claymation demons like escape the hole and take over the house, and then like crazy shit start happening.
Crazy 80s horror.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. All the actors are great. All the characters.
Except for Everlast. All I in my notes I just
he
wrote,
was good.
Everlast. LOL.
Did he even speak in the movie? I don't remember. He spoke like twice.
He's
Twice,
just like
maybe.
a henchman.
Yeah.
But I think it established all the characters like in that one scene, that highway scene. You know what I mean? Like, so
I feel like
let me just Mike's the middleman between Frank and John. Okay, John is the hot-headed brother.
Younger brother.
Yeah, and Frank is like the father
Who
figure,
only-
older brother.
The younger brother only got invited because somebody else didn't show up.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
he shows up late and like almost hits the RV with his car pulling up.
Yeah, so you know right away that he's kind of like
dynamic,
a
yeah.
he's kind of like a wild guy. You know what I mean? But all the dynamics are you can establish in that one scene. That's pretty good. But yeah. What else you guys think, huh? Ray is the tight one who's like financial well-being like depends on like the RV basically. You know, like he's
Which
'cause
also I feel like is up for debate because I feel like he's just a shit talker and probably is not worth nearly as much as he keeps saying. the whole time.
yeah. Because he makes you think he's worth like a lot of money,
Yeah.
and then like yeah.
And then he offers to give him like $500,000.
Yeah.
Like, and Dennis Leary's like, okay, yeah. And, like, kicks him off the building.
Yep. yeah.
the villains were pretty much like a Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers in the fact that the guys got away like 7 times and they always got found. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
in a huge apartment building in the sewers, they always
that was
found
also-
them.
Went
Yeah.
went from
Train
the,
yard.
the city streets, train yard, apartment, sewers,
Sewers.
market.
Yeah, the market, which was like.
Where else can we go? We'll take up the
Gibraltar-
space.
Which was like Gibraltar Trade Center, which high point of the movie.
Yeah, that was a cool market. Cool little
But-
market.
Yeah, just that's what I said. Like they could have just straight up ran. Like if you keep running far enough, you can get away. But they just kept trying. Like you know what? Let's try and shack up in this apartment building. Let's
Well, you
try-
wouldn't think with 1,000 apartments they're gonna find you, but
Yeah, but the way there was that one shot of them going through, like just busting down doors and stuff. You know what I
And,
mean?
yeah,
so
nobody wanted to
they were
let
gonna
him in
find him.
because it
Yeah.
was a stereotypical like projects
Right.
in the movie.
But Ray was kind of smart, you know, but he was kind of
Mm.
like inhumane, and I think that's why he died because when they all
Yeah, he's a scumbag.
when they found that guy,
He
all
just-
of them
he
wanted
just,
to.
Yeah, he just acted like his phone wouldn't work. He's like, no sir.
Yeah, that and all he like
And
all
he wa- yeah, he's like,
he
"Leave
wanted
him.
he
Just
wanted to
leave him."
leave him. Everyone else wanted to help the guy. Yeah, so I think that's why he
Which,
died.
yeah, Jeremy Piven, weasel bitch.
Yeah, yeah,
Not in everything, but in this movie, 100%.
yeah.
they all kind of played like themselves. Honestly, I feel like Piven is like that.
Yeah.
I feel like Dorf is like a drunk homeless dude.
That's what I was thinking as well. They kind of played like
yeah, and Leary's just
that's
sarcastic.
what I
asshole,
get
like,
from them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like they
It
were
was
just
perfect
like,
casting.
They were like, hey, here's the script, but run with however you feel.
You
like
guys pick the
acting.
character you want to be, and they're like, "Oh, that's me right
Like
there." Pretty much, so.
Dennis
Yeah.
Leary did drop some dated slurs that start with an F.
Yeah, some
And-
homophobic slurs.
And we said, yeah, that probably wasn't in the script. They're just like, yeah, Leary said it. Let's keep it. Run it.
Yeah, those homophobic slurs. What do you guys think? Are you guys offended by those?
I mean,
Not at all.
I'm not offended by, but I understand that now it's not acceptable. Like you can't say that anymore. But when we were kids, it was like commonplace. Like it was almost encouraged for you to use language like that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I agree. What about some shots? Some cool shots you guys might have liked. I'll tell you one cool one. The silhouette of the guys when they first are approaching the RV with the guns. They're the gang when they're going to decide to kill them. It's like silhouettes of them approaching the RV. I love that. That's cool. They did a lot of cool stuff.
I knew Ben would pick out super weird, nuanced, like cinematographic moments from this movie to be like, you know what? It's just beautiful, astounding.
No, I swear to God, they did some cool stuff
they
with
do,
the
but
lighting
I
in this
I
movie.
just knew that you would pick up like stuff out of this movie.
Like another one when they first introduced Fallon, how he was just a shadowy figure approaching,
Yeah.
and then the freaking gunshot illuminates his face, and that's how we
However,
first see. That's so
okay,
freaking cool.
Which is correct, but when they show him walking up as a shadow like that, you can hear his voice. And who the fuck else sounds like Dennis Leary?
Yeah, he's
like
a-
100%.
he has a
you're like,
distinct
it's
voice.
Dennis Leary.
Yeah, but still, it looked cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like you said, when they were going through the apartments, busting through, that was a cool shot. Like that
Yeah, it
whole
was.
scene was awesome.
Yeah, because you see, it was like almost Scooby Doo-ish, where like you see, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the hallway, and then like Dennis Leary comes from the front, approaches, and then goes black. That's cool. You know what? You remember that one? Yeah, but
Don't drag me into it, but
I do.
oh, go ahead.
I like when like the black gang is like, you can't come into our like apartments or whatever, and Dennis Leary's like, okay, come here, and like just has a sidebar with him and just keeps offering him money. He's like, how much is it gonna cost for you to just let me do whatever I want in your apartments?
Yeah.
And he just pays him to like, hey, just let us go through your apartments and shoot people. It's no big deal.
Yeah. That scene, I thought one of the coldest lines I've ever heard is in that scene. Dennis Leary says, "You can't take my money, but you can take my money."
Yeah.
That's the coldest line I've ever heard in my life, dude. That was awesome. But yeah, but another thing was cool was seeing the different like perspectives, because they could have just followed the main dudes the whole time, but you seen the gang's perspective, them chasing, especially in the sewers. It cut from
Yeah, it showed like the inner arguments of the gang. Like they were like, "Hey, just let him go. Who fucking cares?" And he's like, "Oh, really?" And then Dennis Leary holds his head under the sewer water,
kills his own dude.
but he doesn't. Yeah, he's like just trying to prove a point, and the other guy's like, "I don't think he's getting back up."
Yeah. So that tells you right there that Leary or Fallon will do anything to catch these guys. He kills his own dude. So
that guy was kind of a puss, though.
he was complaining the whole time and giving Fallon crap, you know.
Real squeaky wheel of the bunch.
He was, yeah.
Everlast was the real star, I think, of that group. He was
Yeah.
real gangster.
Stressing me out.
Yeah, you know what was funny also is another funny line. I don't believe these or he says, "I don't believe these guys have guns." He says and then another guy goes, "It's too easy these days." And that was made in 93, you know.
Yeah, it's
Almost
too easy to
30
get a
years
gun.
ago. Yeah, and gun laws have only got more lenient, you know what I mean? It's like it's just funny.
Then they do, but I feel like it would have made much more sense if it wasn't a white, like, because Leary's obviously like a white dude who was complaining about like rich white people from the suburbs. I feel like the speech that you liked, I feel like would have been much more effective coming from not another white person to a white person.
That is
When
true.
he was like, "I hate your kind," like blah blah blah.
Maybe like a minority.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah. I was thinking the same thing. Also got the
It's
vibe.
a suspension of disbelief, like you're supposed to.
Yeah. You also got the vibe that like Leary and his crew were like raised rough though and live in like
Yeah, they're
strange
in the ghetto, you
pick
know.
of wardrobe, though, for a turtleneck to be.
It
Yeah,
is.
the
it
turtleneck
is.
and
I
the
mean,
leather
I'd-
trench
Yeah,
coat.
yeah. I mean,
Maybe he's like one of those high-end mob.
Oh, okay,
like
that's
guys.
what
You
you're
know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
he shops at J.C. Penney.
Yeah.
One of those ones.
He definitely got that at the Gibraltar Trade Center.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but anything else you guys want to add there? I think Ray's fate was kind of sealed when he pushed that ladder off. You know, that was like, well, he's done for.
Yeah.
You know, because he didn't want to go across because he's kind of a puss. But
Well, he's a pussy. Yeah.
yeah,
A weasel bitch.
He gave it his best effort though.
he did. He did.
Yeah, he tried the art of the deal, but he was wrong.
He was very wrong. Yeah.
Then they gave him that ring, and he's like, "Oh, it's worth 15 G's." And then when they left, the guy took the ring and threw it at his body.
That
in
was
the pool
another
of
cool
blood.
shot. Yeah, where it tracked the ring going onto his corpse.
Like,
You know,
rolled into the puddle.
that
of
was
blood.
cool, man. But Fallon, another thing, they did Fallon like the best. Leary's character, like there was that chilling music whenever he was like talking or on screen. It was kind of a little bone chilling almost. You know what I mean? It was cool. Yeah. What else you guys got? I mean, I don't know. I was just mesmerized by that freaking speech Leary gave. I don't remember it being that like powerful. It was so great. I just loved it so much.
There's some awesome monologues in movies.
It was just so menacing and
It wasn't one of my
I
favorites,
will
but
say,
I loved it.
if I was rating this movie when it came out, which would be when I was like 9 years old, or if I watched it a couple years after that, like when I was a young teenager, definitely would have been like a 9 or a 10.
yeah. Yeah, I'm guessing it's lower now.
Yeah, It's not- like I'm not rating it as if I were a 10-year-old.
Yeah. God knows I am.
But literally, if I like even just hearing like that soundtrack, I would have been like, "This is the best thing I've ever."
I know, yeah.
I would have been like in
that
my
was the-
bedroom wrestling with stuffed animals to the soundtrack. That's something that
the first time you
probably
saw it
did
was,
happen.
or did you?
Oh, I saw it back then, but I don't really remember
Right.
seeing it back then. Like I said, I remember the soundtrack more than I remember the movie.
yeah.
But yeah, like if we were doing this get together rate movies as a 10-year-old, I definitely would have been like, this is a 9 or a 10
Yeah.
by far.
I seen it a long time back then and watched it like 10 times since because I loved it.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
just been like
I
part
think
of my movies watching for forever.
if you got to pick one character who like really stands out, who do you think?
Honestly, I dislike him the most, but Piven's character was great in the movie.
He was really
a
good.
It was a good character, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's Dennis Leary. It's
I
Fallon.
agree.
Piven,
Fallon,
Piven
yeah.
and Leary.
Yep, I agree.
Honestly, Emilio Estevez, the lead, was probably the weakest character for like standout moments in the movie.
Yeah, he was just too
Besides the very end when like there's a big fight scene.
he was just
That's it.
too good. You know what I mean? You can't be like a non-conflicted character.
Well,
he
then
was just
we also-
so
we
pure
just-
and
Too
good.
like cookie cutter suburb, like
Yeah, well, and
Yeah.
we just said this to each other before doing this. Like, if in your group of friends you're always like, "Oh yeah, Emilio Estevez used to be the badass of the group," you're probably a group of pussies.
Exactly. Yeah, Mike Cuba's character
Yeah, he
kept saying,
like you used to be the boss.
"Where's the old Frank at?
Yeah,
Where's the old Frank?" You know,
Was it the boss? He kept calling him something like that.
Yeah, he's like-
you used to be the boss.
he's like 5'7", 140.
like yeah, they go to fight. That was one of my favorite scenes in the traffic. Like they get in the traffic jam.
Yeah.
And Steven Dorff gets out and tries to fight the guy.
Yeah.
And Cuba Gooding gets out and like breaks his wrist.
Yeah.
And he's like talking to his girlfriend. And then Emilio Estevez is like, "Knock it off, guys." And they're like, "All right, Dad. All right, Dad."
Yeah, yeah, he was just too like cookie cutter. I see what you're saying, like fatherly figure, pure, good,
Yeah.
you know. But what was strange though, I found it strange near the end when Frank helped Fallon. Like he says, "What the hell are you doing?" He says, "Help me," and he
he
like
goes, "I
grabs
knew you
him.
would."
What are you killed one of your best friends just like a half an hour ago, and then like. But then he viciously kicks him off and murders him.
Honestly,
So there was
I
that too.
I was waiting for him to go when he was falling to Amelia.
Yeah, Emilio Estevez. That is great.
Bombay.
Gordon Bombay.
Yeah.
Honestly, that character seems like it is the same character as Gordon Bombay.
He might not have a ton of range.
Maybe
honestly,
after
so.
this is when he started drinking. That's when he got the DUI, and that's where Gordon Bombay came from.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We just
Maybe Gordon Bombay was
We're
back
getting-
in the day, and that's
we're-
what Cuba was
we're
talking
getting way
about. He
too
was
deep
just a
into this.
bad dude as
We're
Gordon.
getting way too deep into this.
You had the Bash Bros, bro.
Hey, a couple other cool moments from Fallon were when he revealed
I feel like you just like the name Fallon.
I really do. Not Jimmy, but Fallon, just Fallon. No, but like when he's in the market and he reveals he's in there by going on the intercom.
yeah, the PA.
Boss move. Who reveals they're at the location by going on the intercom?
Someone in a movie? No
Yeah,
one in
that's-
real life's going to do that.
That's true. And also the leather jacket, or he had like a leather duster kind of. I felt like that added power. You know, like
Excuse me?
here we go. Hear me out.
Added
Hear
power.
me out here. Hear me out here.
Like in a video game when
It
you put on a
tricked-
jacket and ups your armor rating.
Exactly. It tricked us. Like if he was throwing those,
It did not trick
it
me.
tricked me the hell out of me. If he was throwing those strikes, bows and stuff without that jacket, you wouldn't think they were as powerful. But he's got that jacket; it just looked more powerful. You know what I mean?
No, I know.
No, not at all. It's Dennis Leary.
Yeah, but no, that jacket added something, man. But anyway,
Name of
Wait,
this
I know
episode.
whenever Ben created a character in an old wrestling video game, I know he put on the Undertaker's jacket. on his face. I
exactly.
just learned.
I did a
Add-
lot too, honestly. So.
Added that power, baby. All right. Anyways, let's get to our ratings. All right, Joe, how about you go first this time?
I give it a 7.5. So I really like Judgment Night. It's, I don't know what's the word, sentimental, kind of like.
Yeah.
I watched it when I was younger, and I just remember it being awesome.
Sentimental and nostalgic.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ben gave me a copy of the movie to watch, and it stopped working like with 20 something minutes left in the movie. But now that I've seen the last bit of the movie again, the rating has gone up a little bit. So I give it a 7 out of 10, and I think it's really good. It is just, it's like dated and whatever. So like, but like I said, if I was rating it when I was a child, 9 or 10, 100%. But as of now, give it a strong 7.
Well, consider me a child then, because I gave that boy a 9.
9, baby.
What did I tell you? I said he's gonna rate this movie outrageous, and then other things that are cheesy, hates it.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I'm with Joe. It's sentimental and just like
I get it.
nostalgic, and it's just like it has just some sort of like
Everybody
feeling
has
about
movies
it.
like that. Like,
Yeah.
You watch when you were younger,
I
you're
get
like,
it.
this movie's so sweet.
You might have seen it at a certain
Joe
location,
and I have
and it was
one.
like
It's not even from when we were younger. Little flick by the name of Taint Light.
Yeah,
Get
I
the
mean,
hell out of here with that
legendary.
movie, man. I hate that movie, man.
I don't think you've ever seen the whole thing.
I don't think he's
I
seen
don't
any
think it's
of it.
necessary to see that.
I think it
I've
is.
seen at least 75% of that
I
piece of
think
garbage.
I think it's like an hour long, so I think you can handle it.
Oh God. But anyway, let's get to the final verdict. See it ASAP. Watch it whenever. Skip it.
I say see it ASAP.
I agree
yeah,
with
if,
that.
if you can get your hands on it, see it ASAP. But
Yep.
It's not
readily
available
available.
unless. But if you comb through some discount sections, I'm sure you can find it for less than $10 on DVD.
Or go on Amazon. It's on YouTube for $3. You can rent it. So
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
There's
So
at least going to be one of those actors that you really like. Like, there's so many actors that are in
Especially
stuff
if
from
you're,
back then.
if
that,
you're
like,
in our age range,
Yeah.
for sure.
oh yeah, Emilio, Dorf. You got Cuba and Leary, and then I don't know. I might be missing someone.
Piven.
but- Piven.
He's
That's
in-
who.
he's
You're
in-
gonna be Piven.
Yeah.
Weasel bitch.
I mean, a lot of people like Entourage, so he's pretty big.
But he's just a more likable weasel bitch in Entourage.
Yeah, that's him as a person in real life. So.
Yeah.
What I was trying to think of the movie that I liked Piven in as a child was probably PCU,
Great movie. He's awesome in that.
Yeah.
which a lot of weird quotes come from that movie, and I don't think people realize it.
That's another one I got to watch fully through. I've only seen bits and pieces, but on that note, that's our final verdict. Judgment Night. Watch it ASAP. Awesome movie. We'll see you. I guess Shaw's going to do that every week now. We'll see you next week. We don't know what the movie's going to be. It's Joe's pick, I believe. So we will see what
I
the
honestly
movie
have
is
no
next
idea
week.
whose pick it is.
It's Joe's pick.
Well,
I
I'm
think.
picking, so.
Yeah. We'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.
do it.
Out.